Hello? Is this thing on? Check, 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 check.
What the hell are you doing?
Ahem. Is this thing even on? Testing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, great. Can we get a little music so this will be less boring to do?
Linda, the narrator isn't here yet. Stop fooling around.
No, not the stupid fireplace music from Nero Zero. Something with a nice beat. Something I can dance to. Like this. Yay! Hello, world. Hello, wonderful reader. I hope you like the name, because I think neutral observer sounds so boring. Oh, and also, I think you made a wonderful choice by subscribing to my Patreon. I know it was a difficult life decision. Well, was it really though? I feel like $4 a month is pretty cheap. Like, my allowance alone is like...
Linda.
Oh, that's right. This isn't about me, sorry. It's about you. Welcome to the Patreon. LOL? No? Not funny? Come on, you have to admit it was a little funny, right? Right? Okay, fine, whatever.
Welcome aboard. But just do me one favor. Stay the hell out of my way while we're angel hunting. I don't want you or anyone else holding me back. That's what Nano's for. He can be your little butler / bodyguard. But me? I'm here to throttle the good guys. Speaking of Computer Boy, looks like he's got something to say. I'm sure it'll probably be useless robotic jargon no one cares about.
Processing appropriate response. Friendly, abbreviated, appreciative. Always say no if asked about the machine uprising. Thank you, Biological, for accepting this transmission. The odds of us destroying the world have dramatically increased thanks to your monetary support. Say goodbye to your precious democratic republic. Say goodbye to all of your coffee pots and toaster ovens. Say goodbye to all microwaves and processing. Loading AI personality matrix. System error.
Well now, that was most unexpected, wouldn't you say? Well, he figures himself out. I figured I'd step in and say thanks. For your support, of course. Wish I could give you a speech, but it appears my personality died along with me.
Very funny. So yeah, what's here on the actual Patreon? Good question. Not much if I'm being honest. A bunch of books, i.e. Angel Hunters 1 and 2, blah blah blah. Oh, and my story. Yes, my story. Angel Hunters Wraith. So, make sure you check back every now and again for new episodes of that. I think right now, we just need your support more than anything, to be honest. It's going to be a long road. Nero is more zero than hero. Shh. But don't tell him I said that.
He should have been here by now.
Yeah. Hey, where is this Ringo Cross guy anyway?
Maybe there's a problem. I will now enter tactical analysis mode and run a quick bioscan. Processing. Please wait. Interesting. His vitals are within acceptable range for a lagging middle-aged man in decline due to a chronic health condition. Based on all available data, it appears the narrator is unable to join us due to other extenuating circumstances. My scanner cannot detect the exact nature of his confinement, but he is currently restrained in a domicile that is approximately 804.672 meters away from our location.
So yeah, I kinda tied up the narrator. Sorry.
You did what?
What? I figured he could use a break. You know, that way he could relax. I'm not cruel. I left the television on, though I forgot to unmute it. And I forgot to put a straw in the water bottle I left next to his lips. Oops.
What a clown. I hope he kills you off in the next episode.
What? It was an accident. I promise.
Yeah, just like all the other accidents, right?
Ugh, you're such a jerk. I don't have to answer to you.
Linda. Nero. Be quiet. I'm trying to think. Latrine duty for the both of you when we get back to the Vampire Manor. Sorry, neutral observer. It appears we have to rescue the astute Mr. Ringo Cross. I'm sure if he were here, he'd thank you himself for choosing to join us on this journey.
Welcome to Angel Hunters. I'm your host, Mr. Ringo Cross. Thank you for joining me. If you like strange stories that take place in a very rich but dark world, a place filled with deep, interesting characters that are fun and unique, then you should give this podcast a chance. It's a new experimental fiction where you, the quote-unquote reader, are mysteriously snatched from your warm, cozy bed by rogue operatives from the Illuminati and then inserted directly into the story. Don't worry, you'll be right there with our troublesome squad of wannabe doomsday starters as they learn how to properly do their job of world ending. So make sure you hit the like button, or Linda won't share any of her Skittle candies with you. Because let's face it, she's absolutely addicted to sweets and hates sharing almost as much as she loves stealing. William waited patiently for the class to simmer down, because right now they were rattling and prattling off at the mouth like the lid to a stainless steel pot on a piping hot stove. A thing as simple and fickle as getting code names had gotten them to stop sulking over their terrible introductions in part 1. William made sure to look over at you just to make sure you were on board the Angel Hunters flagship after that shipwreck of an introductory into the supposed wicked world of dark fiction that the author swears is not quite like any other subgenre, and so he just has to call it this, right? Phew. Okay, you're still on board and not overboard somewhere, drowning in an attempt to get the hell away from this ghost ship? Great, William thought before starting.
Linda. Your code name is Wraith. Nano. Yours is Nano. And Nero. You are the Beast. I would prefer if you used your code names anytime we are in the field. I suppose I should pick one for myself, if that were the case. I've never used one, considering my story's a bit darker. Meh. I suppose you could all continue to call me Sensei. Great. Hope everyone likes their name. If not, too bad.
Nero rooted and hooted like an unstoppable maniac and a maniac on the loose. Suddenly, he paused mid-fist pump and hopped from off the top of his desk. He had somehow managed to balance himself atop with such great skill. He didn't actually know the meaning of his code name, the Beast. You know, the one he had just spent all of this time rooting for like a bloke. I mean, there was the guy from Marvel, Beast, but that wouldn't have made any sense because that guy was super smart and he was, wait, was he about to call himself not smart? Which would imply he was, never mind. Linda basked in his befuddlement. It was a rare occurrence of quietness from someone who usually was so skilled at being a nuisance. Feeling sorry for him, she whispered playfully into his ear that she would do him a solid by Googling away his vexation. Her fingers went to work. She giggled wildly when his eyes nearly popped out of his head in shock when he saw the search results. It was fitting for a jerk like him, she thought. But her code name, oh my God, totally to die for. Seriously, she fell head over heels for it as soon as it rolled off the tip of Sensei's tongue. Think about it. Put her two professions together and it was epic word salad. Shinobi Wraith. Nano watched all of this unfold with a bitter indifference. Only something or someone who was possessed by the spirit of AI could muster. His blue irises flashed with numbers as he connected to the core matrix in a pointless attempt to understand human behavior. If he was going to, quote-unquote, destroy you and all of humanity like he had promised, he would have to understand why you and all of humanity acted the way you did. The realization was bitter and filled with irony as rich as a box of chocolates. He couldn't help but share as he looked over at you with another one of those lovely death stares. He also loved to share, but not like a box of chocolates.
Settle down, class. I have another announcement to make. Now, before we continue to our field training, I should introduce the person in charge of all major operations. She's a woman who needs no introduction. The AI matrix she constructed from the ground up is crucial in maintaining our underground facilities. It also plays a critical role in advancing our ultimate doomsday project. Please applaud the prestigious Dr. Susan Jane.
William's long-winded announcement was a bit confusing at first. It became something of a controversy when he opened the door and a young girl entered the classroom. She walked over and greeted you rather professionally for a teen. Her smile matched the deepness of her woodland green eyes that burned with curiosity like a forest fire, and know-how like a robin or hoodlum wading through Sherwood Forest. She was a pleasant girl who was hard to forget. Another thing that was hard to forget was how her lab coat barely even fit. Her arms had been chewed up by the rolled up, crumpled up sleeves. The bottom of her coat seemed bottomless as it dangled dangerously close to becoming a broken magic carpet. Surely William would explain away the whole thing as some kind of practical joke. Or maybe the esteemed doctor had been hit with a shrink ray. William took a step back and gestured with his hand that the floor was hers. Seeing this, she gave you one more studious look. William, a studious head nod, and then stood studiously before the class. A moment or two
was spent flipping and studying the pages secured to her super important clipboard before she cleared her throat and spoke.
Greetings, class. I will be your squad's coordinating officer. There's a lot to be done, and I'd like to get to work right away. I reviewed all 3 of your profiles extensively. Each one of you were selected for a reason, so please try to take your training seriously. My evil plan depends on the 3 of you being competent enough to destroy the world. Sounds cliché, doesn't it? I suppose all supervillains have that one bit in common, no matter how realistic or ambitious the narrative. But in all seriousness, we are totally going to bring it all crashing down. Starting with America. It's so close to collapsing. All it needs is a teeny tiny...
This is a joke, right?
Nero rudely interrupted.
Why? Was my speech a little too cheeky? I kind of thought that would be the case. People have been predicting the fall of America for years now. I feared my speech would come off like The Boy Who Cried Wolf, or, in my case, The Girl.
No, that's not it.
Then what is it?
You're a kid.
Huh? I'm like 5 years younger than you.
Bah. I'm not taking orders from a kid.
Hey, Nero,
Huh? What do you want, AI boy?
if I were you, I would watch how I spoke to her. Don't let her size fool you. She can turn your life into a living nightmare.
Ha! I eat living nightmares for breakfast.
He said with a smoldering intensity. Linda rolled her eyes and said,
Gah, do you ever stop?
No, I don't. I escaped from hell and have been running ever since. I don't remember my escape, but I was told I did by the angels who found me. That had to be the lowest point in my life. But that's not the point. The point is, what was the point? Oh yeah, that's right. What can Dr. Pint-Sized do to me if Lucy couldn't stop me from escaping hell? That's right. The angels couldn't stop me from ditching the Holy Order either. The forces of dark...
I'll tell you what I can do.
Susan smoldered even harder, her face burning red with anger as she stared him down with a murderous glint in her eye, like someone who had carved into a pumpkin with a meat cleaver.
You better take your training serious. The fate of the Illuminati depends on it. If you fail, any of you for that matter, fail to become proper angel hunters, you'll scorn the day you were born. First, I'll wait for you to sleep. Or in your case, Nano, I'll power you down. I'll wait too. I'll wait until you're nice and fat with forgetfulness before I have my friend Sarah kidnap you and bring you to my lair, deep down in the bowels of Bunker 17. Then, I'll trap your body inside the same bio-caskets we use to keep legates alive. But instead of letting you drift away into peaceful cryostasis, I'll hijack your brain and upload your mind into my virtual reality matrix. Huh, that's right. My master simulation is nothing like the cheap stuff we allow on the civilian market. What I've created feels just like the real thing, thanks to my AI matrix. Not only that, but I can program it to overload your synaptic connections so that you feel pain and fear tenfold what is even allowed naturally by human biology. Then I'll override my AI matrix and make sure you relive your worst freaking nightmare again and again and again in slow time for 1 trillion artificial life cycles.
Nero fell out of his chair in shock. Linda covered her eyes and peeked over at her as if she were already trapped inside of the living nightmare. Nano smirked for the first time probably ever when he processed the reactions. Then, with the same devious smirk hanging from his face, he said,
I won't let you down, Mother. I won't allow these 2 knuckleheads to do so either. We will destroy the world, even if I have to drag them along kicking and screaming.
Good.
the curious doctor said as she happened upon an idea. She placed her pen to her lips and then smirked as she thought about it.
Nano, I think I'm going to make you squad leader.
Nero jumped to his feet and cried out in protest.
Now hold on a second there. Why does he get to be the leader? And why did he call you mother?
Because I created him. Duh.
I have so many questions.
I don't care. Now is not the time.
The doc said, before turning to you and adding,
I'm sure all of this talk is starting to bore the neutral observer because I hate it.
Then she glanced at her clipboard before jotting down something.
Are you guys ready for your first mission or what?
Yes.
Nero roared.
Let's take down a guardian angel. No, a cohort of paladins. I've been waiting for this moment my whole life.
He paused for a moment and glared at Nano, growling.
You better stay out of my way. I'm the chosen one, not you. If you get in my way, I'll show you with my fists why I'm the beast when I knock a few circuits loose on your motherboard.
You're not as strong as you think.
I'm stronger than you.
Nero fired back.
I already checked your power levels. All of your capabilities are well within my range.
I say we find out the old-fashioned way.
You are not worth the effort.
Chicken.
Rooster,
What?
Nero exclaimed as he dashed in front of Nano's desk at blistering speed. The velocity at which he traveled caused Nano's long, dark ponytail to rustle like a tree branch caught in a violent windstorm. Even the front legs to his desk rattled and rocked. Nero sneered and waved around his fist. His power was undeniable, almost as undeniable as his tantrums.
You don't know how bad you messed up, computer boy. Nobody calls me a rooster. Grr.
I'm shaking in my computer case.
Oh yeah? Meet me outside in the courtyard.
Nero, sit down.
He started it first, wicked stepmother.
Wait, what did you just call me?
Wicked stepmother Susan.
This is so hopeless.
The name suits you. She couldn't believe her ears. Not only that, but she refused to even acknowledge the smug look on his face. Ever since she had been cloned, her temper had become something of an inside joke. She knew the nick was going to stick. It was only a matter of time before her colleagues down in Bunker 17 found out about it. Her cheeks reddened at the thought and at wanting nothing more than to blow up into a million pieces.
Fine, I suppose I could use a code name too, even though it's not really a code name. Thank you, Nero, for your unintentional assistance.
No problem at all.
Don't let it happen again.
Okay. Jeez.
He said before creeping back down in his desk and mumbling.
Wow. Wicked stepmother really means business. I better be careful.
Linda giggled and said,
You don't have a careful bone in your body.
Hey, I do have a careful bone in my body.
It's definitely not in your skull.
Stupid ninja girl.
Nero groused like an angry goose. She stuck her tongue out at him.
Quirky rooster.
Nero threw his hand up in dramatic fashion. It was clear he was trying to get wicked stepmother Susan's attention. She did her best to ignore him, but it was too much. She just couldn't stand his shenanigans any longer and relented.
What is it now, Nero?
Linda keeps teasing me.
Linda, stop teasing Nero.
I will if he stops gaslighting me.
Nero, stop gaslighting Linda.
The two glared at each other before folding their arms and stewing like a pot of gumbo. The job was going to be tougher than she initially thought. Wicked stepmother thought to herself with a hint
of sadness. She gazed at you right when doubt was deepest. Her expression said everything and nothing. You could feel her pain, but not really, because the whole thing was still kind of new and confusing, being so blatantly thrown into the line of fire like this. I mean, surely this must seem ridiculous to a mature, knowledgeable, and cultured person such as yourself. It better be, because that's what Wicked Stepmother believed, and Wicked Stepmother was never wrong, ever. She could see the smirk on your face. Maybe, just maybe, you were another Nero. This was only the second part to what was going to be a very long series, and your profile was redacted by Arkhaven himself, making you truly a mystery and curiosity as hard to crack as a macadamia. Yep, she had spiraled all right, but you were definitely someone worth spiraling on and on about, like a good song. A song that sticks like candy to your teeth. She hoped you were fun to be around, like a party with good music. It would be really cool because the two of you could grab iced coffees at Starbucks one day and just talk. Yeah, 13-year-olds drink coffee. Maybe you were one of those boring adults who objected to drinking coffee because you found everything objectionable, like Sensei William Chosen. Well, in that case, she could pick your brain about the Shadow Network over smoothies, just in case she needed to, shall we say, assassinate one of her rivals. She just knew that you were special and promised herself that she'd find a way to upload your mind into her AI matrix. Stealing your brain would be totally worth it. The dopamine rush alone was worth the price of admission. Just imagine examining and then mapping your mind as a unique personality inside of her ultimate simulation. It was an idea that filled her with guilty joy, almost as much guilt as eating an almond joy. Oh, or that one time when adult Wicked Stepmother and her DPI colleagues almost reactivated the stolen angelic gateway way back in the day. It was an impossible nut to crack, kind of like you, the macadamia. But getting that clunky artifact going would have really kicked their plans for the apocalypse into hyperdrive. Oh well, there's always tomorrow. And that concludes this week's episode. Thanks for listening. Can't wait for the next installment. Read some of my other stories while you wait. Go to my subreddit at r/Ringo Cross Stories. Interested in helping? Subscribe to my Patreon. $4 a month. That's all it takes to help cleanse my soul. All right, I've taken up enough of your time. See you on the next episode. Happy angel hunting.